You all have heard of Skullgirls, right? Well, their roster of 8 is growing. Or should I say 10? Or should I say 11? Well, technically I should say 12, because we have an incoming DLC character after the first vote. It was down to 4 finalists, neck to neck. Once the dust cleared, only one came out victorious. And that was Eliza. What, was that a horse bodyguard? I kind of want to place him. Anyway, Eliza. She was my #1 character I wanted for DLC, so that's great. But one problem arises. I know, what arises from me getting the character I wanted in the game, actually in the game? Well, my original top 10 list is now defunct because, well, Eliza was #1. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just click the link right in the middle of the screen right there, a picture of Beowulf, and it will bring you to my original top 10 list. Unless you have annotations turned off, then we'll just pause the video. Also, you can check out a link in the description if you want to wait till after the video. Not only do I no longer have a #1, but also some of my opinions have changed. We've heard more about gameplay mechanics just as discussions have gone on, and I like some characters more and some characters less. So I bring to you the all-new top 10 characters I'd like to see in Skullgirls, for DLC. Super Redux Edition! Or you can just ignore the last part. Number 10 is Yuan. Now, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but you get to play as a chef in a fighting game. Like maybe chopping some carrots as some basic attacks, or a giant onion falls on you, or you cook a full meal as a hyper combo. That's interesting. Unless you're not a fan of combining cooking and fighting games. Then I guess, well, he's a fish person. You like fish people? You probably like Minette better. Everyone likes Minette better. Number 9 is Beatrix. Now, is her name supposed to sound like Bago Tricks, or is the pun just supposed to be tricks? Am I tapping into my misfortune too much? Anyway, since she wasn't included in my last Skullgirls list, I'll give a brief about her like I did with most of the other characters in the last video. She was in Cerebella's story mode for, well, one picture, about as much as all of her other circus friends that aren't Feng. And she's Cerebella's apparent rival. Just look at that scowl. That is the look of rivalry there, folks. Her gameplay style? She's a character of many mysteries, and I don't just mean all those knives in her arms and legs. It's gotta be really bad for circulation. Her cloak is that of mystery, and even holds mysterious weapons. I don't even think she knows what she can pull out. Oh, and do you like teleports? Because she might have one. That is, if you interpret the sentence, now you see her, and now she's pinning you down with a barrage of knives before sawing you in half as, hey, she can teleport. I think so. Number 8 is Isaac. I still like this character, however, I want to know more about his other attacks, the ones that aren't time travel. I liked it when Mike Z did the demonstration using his time travel mechanic on Cerebella, however, what I really liked is how Cerebella used the time travel mechanic and not him, so I would like a little more information on his moveset. That aside, his wicked hairstyle is still awesome. Who says wicked anymore? Number 7 is Brain Drain. I've wanted him ever since I saw him in Painwheel Story Mode, and come on, that's one of the coolest designs in the game. His unique mechanic is mind control. Can he take control of your teammates, or can he just use your own attacks against you later on? The possibilities are endless, or at least to the extent of the character roster. Number 6 is Aeon. Now, for those of you who saw my last video, you might have noticed that her position is dropped, and there's a few reasons. The main one is the creators really seem to want to make her a boss character before putting her in as a regular character. Also, I can see her being alongside Venus, then just by herself first. Tag team boss mode action going on. However, outside of that reasoning, I would be lying if I said I do not want her in the game. Hey, I put her on this list, so obviously I still want to see her. Considering she can record your own moves at one point and then use them later on, it's really cool, and just her ability to mess around with time and distort everything is just such a different mechanic. I really want to see it go into play. And if you're not a fan of those mechanics, I can still bring the hourglass figure to your attention. Yeah, I made that joke last time. I'm sorry for that pun. I'll leave misfortune to doing those. Number 5 is Beowulf. Now, when he's usually spoken about, people highlight his wrestling moves or the fact they use a chair as a weapon. However, I paid attention to a few extra things. That is, in addition to his wrestling moves, he also uses souvenirs from past victories. I kinda wanna see what that looks like. And they might give him a move like Captain America's Shield Slash, where he throws his chair instead. Only instead of coming back to him like a boomerang, it, well, stays wherever you throw it. Now that's using physics. in a fighting game. Number 4 is Ilium. That might seem like an odd choice, especially putting her this high in the list, but I didn't really consider her until after I learned about her once she got eliminated from the first round of voting in the first DLC vote. She appears in the background of the Lab 8 stage as the mother figure to all the little children of Lab 8. If Big Band's the father figure and she's the mother figure and Ilium gets in the game and with Big Band already in the game, if they're both fighting, who's going to take care of the little kids? No, seriously, I'm asking. I guess Leduc and Hive? Leduc's a nice kid. Anyway, to gameplay now. Now, with a few other stage control characters up for the vote, such as Venus, Ilium really needs to prove herself. And she got me. I like the full screen pokes with the drills, the poison, and she puts unspecified stuff around the stage for strategic area damage. Wow, she makes a mess everywhere. Also, she can remove her mask to spit poison at the opponent without actually seeing her face. I sense Reptile from Mortal Kombat. We don't get to see her face, though. I was kind of assuming there were just going to be more intestines under that mask. Well, looks like we'll never solve this mystery no one was looking to solve. Number 3 is Black Dahlia. Now, we all know she can fight because she fought Peacock at the end of her story mode. However, if you don't like zoning, she still could be for you. That gun up close? Looks like it hurt if she clonked you over the head with it. Not only that, but she can also hide moves with a giant doily around her neck. Who knows what she could be hiding? Blades? Tear gas, grenades, or just something mechanical that we don't know about yet. Number 2 is Molly. Now, she has some interesting DHCs, or delayed hyper combos for those of you who don't know the acronym, where she, instead of switching in, basically adds something to the current DHC going on, such as making it more powerful or building more meter during it. There are plenty of possibilities. Oh, and did I mention she's in a giant robot phone? Come on! That's awesome. Oh, and if your main reason against her is because you don't think giant robots belong in fighting games, we've seen it before, so think of another excuse. And while you're at it, you might as well give her a Magus XLR palette, because that would be awesome. And if you haven't seen Magus XLR, go listen to the theme song, because it will be quite obvious that a good majority of us do dig giant robots. Number 1 is Regina, the bandwagon that no one seems to want to jump onto. I believe that she's one of the most overlooked characters in the entire DLC campaign, which makes sense because she's my number 1. While she doesn't really have a gimmick like other characters do, she does have some very interesting moves, such as the fact that she can summon animals. That could be used for zoning, or hey, that could be used as on-screen hazards. I wouldn't want a line where I'm fighting. And she has that stool around her arm. It could maybe just be used during her defense animation, or maybe could have some counter option. And if you want to give the animals a break, her whip sword thing, it's technically called a crop, is really fast up close, so feel free to get in your opponent's face. And that's why I like Regina from what we know at this point. Well, that and her appearance. Look at that drill hair, it's so cool. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know who you want in the game, or if your opinions have changed since the first DLC vote, or just about the game in general. Either way, see you guys next time.